Well, hi, it's Stuart Zola again, and I'm going to tell you a story now about Wild Bill Hickok. I have to tell you, it's a fateful story. I'm just going to turn my screen down here so you can see this a little bit better. These are all the things that play a part in the story, and it was August 2nd, 1876. About 10 years or so after the Civil War, Wild Bill was actually a hero in the Civil War. But subsequent to that, he became a kind of gambler and roue, and had really quite a reputation both with the women and with cards. And on this very fatal day, August 2nd, this is what happened. He was in a bar, saloon, with a whole bunch of galoots hanging around, and he put out some cards and he put out a little bell. And he said, "Gentlemen, here's the story. I have 4 8s here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. 4 8s. All right? And over here on this side of the bell, I've got 4 aces. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. 4 aces. Now here's the deal. For $100, I will give you the chance to move the 8 and the aces around, and then I will put them back without you seeing me do it." Well, that sounded pretty unusual in that time, but for $100, that was a big bet. But this was a gold mine town, and people had lots of $100 gold coins. And so the first galoot came right up and smacked down one of those coins and said, "I'll take you on that bet, Wild Bill." And this is what he did. He picked up one of the 8s and he put it in the middle of the aces. And he picked up one of the aces and he moved it over to the 8s. He said, "Bill, do what you need to do. I don't think you can make them all come back to where they were." Well, Bill didn't pause. He didn't pause for a minute. He just moved the cards around. And then he did something unusual. He picked up the bell and he rang the bell. And then he picked up the cards and he said, "Gentlemen, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4 8s back where they were. And gentlemen, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4 aces back where they were. And thank you for your $100. Well, things were getting a little juicy now. Some guns were pulled out and put on the table, and this was kind of an omen of what was to happen. But a second galoot came up and said, "I'm going to give this a shot here, Mr. Hickok." Slammed down his $100 gold piece. And he did the following. He took 2 of those 8s and he took 2 of those aces and he shifted them around. And he said, "1 was not enough, but 2, I think we can watch what you're doing." "Okay," said Wild Bill, and he just moved those cards again, just like he did last time. And then he did exactly what he had done. He tolled the bell. And there it was. "Gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, 4 8s, just as they were. And I'm sorry to tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4 aces, just as they were." Well, a few more guns were drawn at this point, and it wasn't looking good for Bill even then. But a third galoot came up and said, "Hey, I'm in." Threw down his gold coin, and this is what he did. He took 3 cards from that side, and he put them over here, and he took 3 cards from this side, and he put them over there. And he said, "Okay, Mr. Hickok, let me see you get through that for my $100. Well, once again, Bill just didn't pause a moment, and he straightened out the cards. But then he did pause. And instead of ringing the bell, he just picked it up, and he said, "Gentlemen, I lied to you." Well, everybody kind of thought that was the case anyway. He said, "No, I lied to you in the following way." He said, "I would be able to put all the cards back where they were, but I'm gonna do something a little different on this one. I'm gonna make the cards shift where they were, the whole damn pack. And with that, he turned over these cards, and they were the 4 aces. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4 aces, where the 8s were. And now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 8s, where the aces were. Well, that was just too much for people to take, and you heard suddenly clicks of the triggers and the hammers of guns, and boom, 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 boom. And then it was for Wild Bill for whom the bell tolled. And the end of this story has a little bit of history to it, because aces over 8s became known for that time on as the dead man's hand in poker, and it was Wild Bill who was the dead man.